Home decorating doesn't have to be pricey. There are lots of ways to doll up your space inexpensively, but without it looking cheap. And today I'm going to show you 2 easy projects to do just that. Hey everyone, welcome to Katie Fehlinger DIY. I'm Katie, and this channel is all about DIY techniques, ideas, and tutorials like you'll see in this video, all with the goal of helping you make your home your happiest place. If that sounds cool to you, consider subscribing, and also you can ring the bell to get notified when new videos go up every Thursday. So decorating a house, especially if you're a first-time homeowner, is a big job. And while it could get super expensive, there are tons of ways to get started without spending a ton of money. So today I'm going to show you 2 super easy and cost-effective projects: the painted mason jar and this framed tray. I've made these projects several times over in my own home. They're totally customizable. They look so classy, and the best part, you can knock them out in one afternoon. Okay, we'll start with the painted mason jars. I've used these in so many ways. They're super multi-purpose, as utensil holders, as actual drinking glasses, even as light fixtures. This is a homemade overhead lamp in our basement. But mason jars are awesome to put flowers or botanicals on display too. So it's a really versatile and really simple project. You only need spray paint. Let's do one as an example. I've laid out a big piece of cardboard on which to rest the jar. Now the jar is nice and clean, by the way. That's really important so that the paint adheres well. And I'm just gonna go for it. Now, with spray paint, the main tip is shake the can. Shake the can, shake the can, shake the can. Shake the can for a minute or 2 before you start spraying, and keep shaking as you're applying the paint. You want to spray in a continuous fluid motion, but with a light touch. So you don't want to layer the paint so thick that it looks wrinkly or buckled. Also, you need to paint all the coats that you're painting within an hour's time so that the paint dries evenly. Now, if you're able, it's best to do your painting outside, just to air out any fumes. Ideally, you're working in temperatures too, between 65 and 85 degrees with relatively low humidity. Minimal wind is actually helpful too, just so you can keep your coats even as you maneuver around the circumference of the jar. So you'll definitely want to double check the directions on the label of whatever spray paint you're using, since directions and drying time might differ from brand to brand, but generally you can do another coat after about 5 minutes. For this jar, and since it's a pretty opaque color, I'm only going to do 2 coats. So I'll be able to pick it up and handle it after about 30 minutes, and it'll totally dry in about 24 hours. And then once it's completely dry, you can just pop some pretty florals in it, and voila! You've got yourself a centerpiece or an accent for a windowsill or your mantle. There are so many ways to use something like this, so let me know in the comments how you would use one of these pretty jars in your own home. The more ideas, the merrier for everyone watching. Okay, the next easy peasy project I'm going to show you is a tray made from a photo frame. So all you need is a picture frame and some scrapbook paper in a color or design of your choice. So the frame really just needs to lay flat, and depending what kind you're using, you might need to detach some hardware. Now ideally, you just use a frame that's exclusively for wall hanging, since that's most likely not to have a folding stand at the back. But you might need a hammer or a needle nose pliers or something to detach anything that prevents the frame from laying flat. So I'm just going to remove the backing, and that's actually all the prep work that I need to do for the frame. Now it's time to grab your scrapbook paper, and all you need to do is cut this down to size. Really easy. So a few ways that you could do this: use the 2 edges you already have for starters, and then you can simply use a ruler to measure out where you need to cut. But another easy way to gauge where you need to cut is simply to use the glass that came with the frame as a pattern. So pop that out and trace the edge. And then you can cut it either with a paper cutter, which is my preference just because it's so quick and precise, or you can freehand it with some scissors. And honestly, guys, using scissors will work just as well because you have that little lip on the inside of the frame that will mask any wobbly or uneven cuts that you might make. Then simply place your scrapbook paper into the frame, fasten on the back, and you're done. So now you have this great accent that you can totally customize to the color scheme or the vibe of whatever room you're placing it in. This would be perfect on a coffee table, on a dresser to catch your everyday jewelry. I actually have one in our guest room, and it holds some flowers, a candle, and a fun visitor's guide to our city. You could even use this in a bathroom, and I actually have one in our hall bath, which is the bathroom that my girls use the most. So their toothpaste and the hand soap sits out on this tray, but it's got the cool lavender and deep blue vibe to go with the rest of the decor in there. And bonus, you could cut out a couple of different themed pieces of scrapbook paper to just keep in the frame year round. And then as the different seasons change, you could swap out with the different pieces of scrapbook paper. So foliage colors for the fall, reds and greens for the winter holidays. How easy is that when you're swapping out for the changing seasons? I love it. The simpler, the better, right? So definitely a different way to use a picture frame. But if you want more tips on how to hang frames in the traditional way, I have a video showing you how to design an entire gallery wall. And if you want to check that out, I'll link it up here and down in the description. Good stuff, right? I love that these projects are simultaneously easy, chic, fast, and cheap to make. And if you have expensive tastes and you want to pull off the look without breaking the bank, I have 9 tips to make your home look like a Pottery Barn catalog without spending thousands of dollars. And the link to grab that is down in the description. And if you are a DIY junkie like me, then I'd love to invite you to join my creator community. More than 1,000 people have already signed up, and it's where I share content exclusive to that group. And there's a link to sign up for that down in the description as well. And in between videos, I always love hearing from you. So hit me up on social media. I'm on all the platforms and they are all listed below as well. Guys, if you like this video, hit that like button, share this with your fellow creators, and subscribe so you don't miss any new content. I post every Thursday, but you can always ring that bell to get notified when the newest video goes up. Also, let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this, if you're gonna try any of these projects, and maybe what color scheme you think you're gonna go for. Keep creating your happy place, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you next Thursday. It's still hot in here, in case anybody's wondering. That hair was straight when I started. Well, that's exciting. We'll get there, champ. Time to get rid of the excess shine, but it's just sweat. Ow. In my own home, Oh yeah? Really? Well, this is gonna be fun. Clunk, clunk, clunk. I gotta get a fan in here. If you're a first-time homeowner, framed tray. What the f is that? What in the actual... There's a ghost in this garage. I am not even... How a bubble wand starts on its own, I do not know. That wasn't horrible.